notice anything different? It is chilly out here. It's the first day I've had a sweatshirt on in what, 7 months or something. Oh my goodness, it's changed. Times are changing, temperatures changing. That's what we're going to talk about today. This is the time of year where a change is coming, and that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about some do's, some don'ts, and what you need to change when we start to have this transition. But we're also going to talk about killing grubs and putting down fertilizers. First of all, you got to see this. I mean, I keep bragging on my lawn, but after what it looked like before, that's just amazing. Is that crazy or what? You just got to love a dew-covered morning, a dew-covered lawn in the morning. It just turns, I've said it before, it turns a sort of really deep blue-green, that Bermuda. Today, I'm going to talk to you about some do's and don'ts for the fall. We're going to put out some fertilizer. Then I ordered the double kill grub killer for both my house and for Barb's. And I'm going to have Ryan put that out. I got crows. Look at that. I got crows in the backyard. So people will say, well, Doc, why are you putting down another grub killer? Because I'm telling you, because we abandoned this property basically for 2 months and it looked horrible. Now it's looking great. I think we had a lot of beetles come in here. We had a lot of beetles come in and burrow in the ground. Then we had those beetles turn into grubs. And so now I know for a fact, I do have, remember where I talked about a little bit of that fungus? That's getting a little bit better, but I'm going to treat again for grubs, and I'm going to go hit Barb's because I know she has grubs, and that's something you guys should be thinking about now too. So in the lawn guides, we have calendars that are up. So the lawn guides, there's a website, there's 3 websites. There's a Cool Season, there's a Bermuda website, and there's a Zoysia website. Each one of those has all the tips, walks you through, has calendars, has everything on it. They're free, they're up all the time, just use them. You can access them all through freelawncareguide.com, and then the links are on there listed. When you get there, there's calendars on there, and you'll see this transition, and that transition is different. Warm season, as we cool down, we want to sort of just we're in that period where we have very slow growth now. Thank goodness. I'm getting a little tired. We're getting tired of cutting grass because our grass is so healthy right now. Cool season, this is the time of year that you guys are thinking about reseeding and good growth and a nice pretty lawn. So it's a little bit different. The schedules are actually different. It's sort of flip-flops. So one thing I want to talk about is a few things you do and don't want to do. Mainly I want to talk about like aeration and scalping. As the temperatures drop, you don't want to do, for warm season grasses, you don't want to do a core aeration. You don't want to do a scalping because your growth is about to stall, which means that your lawn won't have time to recover. So you're at a point right now where all you're going to do is put down mild fertilizers, a little bit, and just let it go to sleep gently and then shut it off. Cool season guys, you can actually do all that stuff. So if you want to, whatever you want to do to your lawn, because you're in your growth period, your lawn's going to have time to recover. You can core aerate, you can scarify, you can dethatch, you can seed, you can do all that fun stuff now. Warm season guys, we can't do that because we need time. The grass will just simply not recover. This is pretty much what you're going to have, slow, and then in the wintertime, this is going to turn brown, obviously. Next, let's talk about pre-emergence. So when we talk about pre-emergence, if you're having weed issues right now, yes, I would go ahead and get a pre-emergent right now. I'll link to the pre-emergent. I'll link to all the stuff I'm talking about down below. There's one link. Go to that link, and on that page, I'll have everything on there. I'll have the grub killer, double kill. I'll have all the fertilizers, and I'll have the pre-emergence on there. If you're already having weed problems, I would go ahead and put down a pre-emergent now. And that's for your warm season guys. Cool season guys, if you're going to overseed, then obviously you probably want to avoid a pre-emergent altogether. But warm season people, I don't have a weed problem. I walk around, I got a little bit of spurge showing up maybe around the edges. I don't have a single weed on my front yard, not one single weed. In this entire backyard area, almost nothing, maybe a little piece of spurge. So I'm going to hold off. My biggest concern, and a lot of you guys, is poana, and we really don't have to worry about poana until this Bermuda grass really starts to shut down. So that's when I go into my pre-emergent phase. When this lawn actually starts to turn down and I start to get really cool temperatures, and I'm talking like November, first thing I'll do is I'll hit it with a granular. Good gracious, the grub eaters are out. I'll hit it with a granular, and then about 30 days after that, I'll come back with actually a liquid pre-emergent. Oh my God, what is going on here?
Welcome to Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom.
I'm just telling you, all these crows, I have tons and tons of crows. I walk out my backyard, I look in the front yard, I look at all my neighbors' yards, and they have crows. And what are they eating? They're eating grubs. That's what they're eating. Maybe some armyworms, but they're really eating grubs right now. And they're all over this place. So get down that grub killer. So today I'm going to put down the, Ryan will put down PGF Balance on the back. We'll put down Green Shocker on the front. We're going to put down the double kill on both. And I'm going to go over to Barb's and I'm going to treat hers, and I'll take you up to the farm. Okay, so let's take a minute and let's talk about the products that you'll probably be using this fall. You'll probably be using some of these products. The first one I'll talk about is the PGF Balance. So PGF Balance, like all the fertilizers, all the PGF fertilizers, is super fine, and that's what you want. When you use a mild fertilizer, it has to have micro-sized particles. Otherwise, you don't get good product distribution, particles per square inch. This is a 10-10-10. It was designed specifically for lawns. It has iron and micronutrients. The only people that probably don't want to use this is if you have really high phosphorus. But if you get a soil test, I'll put a link to the best soil test I found in the description below, and you don't have any weird phosphorus spikes, put down PGF Balance. That is what you want to be putting down in the fall. That's my go-to fertilizer. If you do have a high phosphorus level, then you can use Green Shocker. Green Shocker is only 1% phosphorus, so it's fine to put down. It's not going to really boost your phosphorus levels. But what it's going to do, it's going to put down humic acid, it's going to put down a little bit of nitrogen, and it's going to put down some iron. So basically you're just letting your lawn go to sleep, but you're giving it just a touch of that green to keep it green and keep it healthy looking. So Green Shocker is a good choice. Cool season guys, this is PGF Complete. This is a mix of fast and slow release, but basically it's a slow release fertilizer that'll feed for 4 to 6 weeks. That's what the average person, this is the perfect ratio for almost all cool season lawns. I have 2 big bags of this left, and I'll be honest, I may just take it up to the farm property and instead of storing it over the winter, I'm going to put it out on my cool season crops up there in a couple weeks. But that's what you cool season guys should be putting out. Us warm season guys, we really don't need a slow release fertilizer right now. And lastly, the last thing is the double kill product. Now the double kill is the only thing I trust for grubs. I've tried so many other products. Remember, double kill is a DG product. It breaks apart right away, but you've got to water it in to get it down to the grubs. So if your grubs are 1 to 2 inches deep, you've got to get that product down in. And it's called double kill because it's an above ground and below ground killer. So if you have armyworms, wet it lightly, let it sit for a while. It'll kill the armyworms, it'll kill ticks, it'll kill fleas. But then after it gets watered in, it'll kill the grubs. So those are the main things that we'll be looking at. A 10-10-10. It's designed specifically for lawns, even though you can use it in everything else. But you can see the particles are so tiny. Now, when I take you up to the field, I'm going to show you a fertilizer that I would never put on a lawn, and it's made for lawn. The only reason I bought it is because it's a 30-05, and it was on sale, plus an additional discount I had, and I needed nitrogen. But I mean, the particles are like marbles. One of the keys to this is your particle distribution. In other words, how many particles per square inch are you getting? And that's why fine fertilizers are the key to good fertilizing. PGF Balance is fine. PGF Complete, fine. Green Shocker, fine. All right, so If you follow my channel, you'll understand I talked about brown spots in yard. I showed you Barb's lawn, and she has definitely a grub issue. She's using a national spray company this year because I don't have the time to do her treatments. And I know for a fact they're not treating for grubs. So I ordered double product, and I'm going to treat Barb's for her too. We got to get those grubs under control. I'll link to it below. Now this is a DG particle, and this DG particle, as soon as water touches it, you'll see it break apart. Now, I'll be honest, this is the only thing I trust for grubs. Put it out at the heavy rate and water, water, water. Remember, if your grubs are 1 inch to 2 inches down in the surface, this stuff needs to get down to the grubs. So you gotta water it in. So we're gonna put it on Barb's, we'll put it on ours. Unfortunately, Barb doesn't have irrigation, so she's gonna have to wait for the rain. And in case you missed the video the other day, this is what I'm talking about. I want you to look at all these holes and spaces. See this? That's what happens when you have grubs, bugs, and disease. So I'm not going to treat for disease out here, but she has had, year after year, she has consistently had lots of beetles and then lots of grubs. So today we're going to talk about fertilizers, and this is specifically for the fall. And what I want you to understand is that a lot of things are going to start changing. So as an example, in our agricultural fields up here, which we plant for the wildlife, this is considered a cool season crop. So this is the start of the season. We just planted this, and this will run all the way through the fall, all the way into probably December for us. So we're actually out here giving the plants what they need. Now we do have some clover in here. We don't need a bunch of nitrogen, but a lot of that brassica and turnip, basically I'm putting down almost a pure nitrogen. Because why? Because I got a soil test and classified it as agricultural, and that's what it came back as. So I just needed cheap granular. We did those 2 fields yesterday or day before. And then this is the larger field up top. And you can see that we've got irrigation running to these. Now that irrigation comes from the pond, and then we ran another 150 feet under the road here, and we have another sprinkler coming. Instead of keep moving that one, we just ordered another one, and we can cover probably 75% of this field without having to move it too much. This is almost like a cool season grass. So we'll be putting down stuff to create that growth energy. We'll be putting down nitrogen. We'll be putting it down pretty strong. So what's interesting is a couple places we're out of just granular nitrogen. I was having a hard time finding it. So I actually I wanted a little bit of iron, and it's really hard to find like a cheap granular 30-00 with iron. So I actually found a lawn fertilizer that was on sale, plus I used a military discount. So I got this stuff really cheap. Now this is what I'm using for my ag. I would not use this on my lawn, and one of the reasons why is the pellet size. I mean, the pellet size is just huge. So the particle distribution on a lawn would be horrible. Can you see the difference in that?
Yeah, they're huge. They're rocks.
Yeah, it's like big balls. They're just big balls of fertilizer. And so when we first opened it up, that's what Ryan was saying. He's like, dude, this stuff is just huge. Well, your particle per square inch count is going to be low. So I would not use this on a lawn, but I don't mind it on the fields because we're going to do a real heavy coat. Can't see me, can you? So anyways, it's Saturday morning, and I'm getting ready to go over to the farm property. Rented a excavator and a track hoe. We got a lot of gravel and dirt work to do. Man, the crows are out here again. Anyways, just remember, everything I talked about, I'll link to in the description below. This is the time of year. Remember, it is getting chilly out here. The lawn is getting ready to go to sleep. The growth pattern is just going to slow. So what you do now is probably the last thing you're going to do. And the last thing you want to do is you want to treat for your grubs. And then you want to put down a very mild fertilizer and then just leave it alone. Here we go, Wild Kingdom again. Anyways, hope the video helped. Talk to you probably tomorrow. Doc.